Hi again, I'm Zilla Blitz, and welcome to episode 3 in our series with Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. Last episode, we did our first story job. We reached level 3, and we're up to almost 5,000 credits. We did buy a tire tread measuring gauge, too. Let's jump right in and get started with our next story order. And I think what's going to be unique about this one here is that my buddy doesn't seem to have any problems, meaning her car doesn't seem to have any problem. We're leaving a car that we don't know quite what's wrong with it. So this is where we get to start doing some diagnostic things. So we're going to pick this one up, this Griffin Tyro 215. We've worked on one of these before, but not this particular car. Let's get this story started. Are we outside? This is a little beat up for a Tyro, but not too bad, I suppose. Let's move it inside to our left. Now, I think what's going to happen when we click on this one, we look at status and we go over here to the orders. Oh, okay, so it's got a bunch of stuff. Wow, this is a big job. Here we have the ones down the bottom. We can see part not discovered. So we don't know what's wrong with this. We have to figure it out. Now the bushings down here in the suspension, my guess is that there's more stuff. Camshaft is the engine. We got a lot of stuff to work on. Change the oil. Other tasks are just kind of replace the fluids and drain and stuff like that. So idle roller. Oh my gosh, we're going to have a lot of stuff to work on here with this one. This is a big job. This is going to get us quite a bit of money. I wouldn't be surprised if this gets us 1,000 credits or so. So we're going to have to go to the spark plug, simply do the engine, trying to think of a way through this. We got to do the brake pads. We're going to take the wheels off. We got to get it up top. Got to change the oil, I think they want to, right? Nope, they don't want to change the oil. Oh, drain. Yep, drain the oil. So let's get her up top here and start to poke around underneath a little bit. Get the lift working here. This is going to be, I think we're just going to work on this one for this episode because it's going to take a while. Let's go get our oil drainage thing. Move it over under the car. All right. I wish I could drain oil this fast in real life. Use equipment. Pew, out it comes. Done. Move equipment. We're going to put it back out of the way. Good. Do we need to change the oil filter too? Is that under here? That looks pretty good, actually. I don't think we do, right? Oil filter, it does need to be changed. Oh, 81%. So this is someone who really takes good care of their car, right? So let's get up in here and we'll pop the oil filter off. 65%. Yeah, so we need to buy a new one of those. Let's just put that on while we're here. Let's check the inventory, oil filter I4. Now we can keep this one because it's 65%. So we can put it on another car that doesn't demand quite so high quality. Yeah. Not sure of how ethical that is, but that's the way we're doing it here at Blixie Fixie. So we need to go order a new oil filter. Open shopping list. Oil filter I4. Let's buy that part. And let's pop that on. Put that there. Good. And we might have to take this off again, depending on what's going on in there. We need to fix and stuff like that. All right. So we got a few things to do here. What else is it? We got to take the suspension off and the wheels off. Let's start with that because we have, I think there were some brake pads, right, too? Yep, brake pads, belt tensioner. Brake pads are probably the front I'm making. All right, let's get those going here. So we're going to get the wheels off. Some of these engine jobs can be quite extensive because you got a lot of stuff to work with. We might want to do our diagnostics here first. Yeah, I can see those brake pads are red. Get these bolts off on the calipers. This brake pad, yeah, 24%. This doesn't. Is this disc good? Oh, it's not. We're gonna need a new brake disc ventilated too. So, all right. So let's put this back together and get the wheels going here. So we need throw that on and brake pads on there. Everything else, I think this needs to be fixed too, right? Brake caliper cylinder is 78%. The brake caliper is 81%, and that's her tolerance. Let's check to see if something popped up there on this. Part not discovered. Yeah, we picked up a couple more here. Brake disc ventilated, brake pads, belt tensioner. I don't know. Doesn't show up there, does it? But we've discovered 2 of the parts. Anything else here? Maybe not. Maybe the calipers don't need to be replaced, huh? Well, we'll just put it on. Let's go order our stuff. Does I get them there on the thing? Kind of confused here now as to what we got. Open. We need brake pads. Let's get that there. I think we could buy 2 of these. One more. And we need a calibrated, where is it? Ventilated. Yep, one of these. Brake disc ventilated. Buy that. Okay, let's put this on. Here we go. That goes on, the new one. Great. Put the brake pads on. Yep, old one goes off, 24%. Let's get the caliper on. I feel like that's not to her standards, but 78%, right? Let's just check to see what's going on here. Brake pads, yep, we did that. Belt tensioner. I think all things are okay here. Part not discovered. Yeah, I think we're okay. All right, let's go do the other brakes on the other side here. We're going to leave those wheels off for right now. Another side of the brakes here. It's going to be a big job, huh? And I think what I'll do next is run the diagnostics on the car to see if that helps identify the parts that we need. Because there's two things we don't know yet. My guess is there's somewhere, when the suspension's bad, I found when I was doing this before that a lot of times it's the shock absorber and you have to take it apart to see what the problem is. Brake pad, yep, that brake pad is bad. How about the disc? 27, that's bad too. Okay, so let's go buy another one of these. All right, put that there. Put the brake disc ventilated on. Yep, get that on. Get the brake pad on. Excellent. Get the caliper on. Bolt that in. All right, how are we doing now? We check on the car status, the brake pads. So we got two brake pads. The rear brake pads are going to need to be done. The brake disc ventilated is now fixed. Was that one of the unknown things? Oh yeah, it was. Okay. So we solved that. So we've figured out everything that needs to be fixed because it was the ventilated brake discs that needed to be replaced. So we're good there. So we have serpentine belt. We got to change the spark plugs, belt tensioner, cam gear. Those are on the side. Camshaft is inside the engine. Idle roller, ignition coil. Okay, we got some stuff to do here. What do we do next? Let's go do the rear brakes. And then we'll come back up and do the engine stuff. So, because we've done the brakes a couple times, I'm going to skip ahead of this. And we'll come back after we're done here with the brakes. Whoops, didn't want to do that. And then we'll take a look at the inside of the engine. Because we've done brake jobs, a couple of them just now. So, I'll get the brakes together and then we'll be right back. Alrighty, so we got the brakes done on the back now. So if we kind of check in the car here, brake stuff is good. We have a belt tensioner to do. A lot of the stuff with the engine now, which is going to take a little bit. And spark plugs. These rubber bushings, I believe those are going to be in the suspension. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run in here and right click and we're going to do the examination mode because I think that might help us tell us where some of these things are. So I'm going to run these and we're looking to see if anything comes up red on the suspension here. But I think the bushings, you have to take it apart to see. So my guess is it's not going to tell us because they're kind of internal parts. So I don't think we're going to see anything here to identify which one of those bushings need to be replaced. But we'll take a look and we'll kind of run this and then get back together. All right, so I did the examination checks and I think, whoops, I'll show you in a second here. But these rubber bushings, I think... See how I think these are rubber bushings and those look red to me. So maybe it's on the suspension back here. So I'm going to try to take apart finding these things I find can be tricky. We're going to switch out of this mode and see if we can jump in here to the suspension. That looks suspicious too. Let's see if we can take off this rear suspension arm. We can't because it's yellow. So we have to figure out how to get this off. I think maybe take off the shock absorber first, it looks like. Brake caliper. No, that's not it. Let's take off the shock absorber and see if then we can get at the bushings on that arm there. Can we take the arm off now? Oh, it's still yellow. What's holding it on there? Oh, this thing here, I think. The sway bar rear end link. All right, so now can we take the arm off? Nope, suspension arm still can't come off. Why? Let's get under there and take a look, see what's holding it on. Kind of baffled here. Maybe this rear, maybe you have to take all, oh, I see. Maybe this has to come off. It's one big knuckle housing thing. Oh, maybe up here. Let's try this. The rear suspension upper arm. A lot of pieces to get at some of these things. Let's start digging around the suspension. And what we're looking for are some bad rear bushings. Those were okay. But what about back here now? Can we take it off now? Nope, it's still stuck on. why. Looks like this thing's holding it on, but that's yellow too. That one looks bad to me. Oh, I can take it out now. Yeah, see how dirty that is? I bet that's one of the ones that needs 14%. All right, so we're going to buy 4 rubber bushings. Let's go get that now. Let's go in here first. Let's just get the right one. Put that on our shopping list. Get the iPad tablet out. Open up our shopping list. Oh, here we go. Rubber bushing. We need 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Buy part. Now we can right-click. Oh, we'll get the bushing back in. Excellent. That replaces the bad one. Put the bolt in there to hold it in place. And that is one of them fixed. Now I have to get the other stuff we took off in here. Let's put the shock absorber back on. That's good. Bolt that in place. Are there any other bushings in here we missed? I don't see any, huh? So now we got to get this other stuff that we took off here. What else did we take off? Rear suspension arm. We took that off. Nope, 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 nope. Wait, back. We don't want to put the new bushings in there. That's fine. And that bushing. Why is there the 3 new ones here? That's interesting. Okay. A little confused how we lost a bushing. But anyway, that's beside the point, I guess. How are we doing on the job? Did we replace 2 broken bushings? Was one of the bad ones in there? No, we still have 3 to replace. Replace 1. We might have just... I don't know what happened with that other bushing. That's a little bit weird. But, okay, we are going to put this back into place. Sway bar, bolt that in. We get everything back in here? Get the upper arm. I feel like there's something we didn't quite put back. What do we got here? Rubber bushing, rubber bushing. The rims. Yeah, no, we got it all in there. So sometimes a quick way to check, I found that check to see if I've got everything in is by just looking at our inventory, because it's last in is up top here. So these are just the new bushings we bought. This is the bad bushing. Yeah, so we're pretty good here. We just have to get that out. So it looks like the same thing on the other side. So let's come over here, because this one here, I think, in the suspension was red as well, right? Oh, those are red. Can we take that out? Is that a bad bushing? 81%. Now that one's still good. We get that one out. That one good. 79%. That's below the tolerance, right? I think we have to put a new one in there, right? Because I think she wanted 81%, right? Let's put the 81% in there. Let's see if that fixes it. Put one in here. So maybe we don't have to take the suspension apart. Put this one in, 85%. Get that going. Let's see if that fixed one of them. Rubber bushing, still 3 to go. No, it did not fix it. So there's another one in this arm here. Maybe that's it. Take these screws out. All right, took that out. Wasn't there? It was here in this arm, right? This is the one that was bad on the other side. Maybe that's one we need to take out. Sometimes, yeah, that one's all bad. You can tell it's all black and broken and stuff like that. 11% for sure. All right, so let's put the new bushing in there. That should get us 2 of them. 84%, that's fine. Good, that's in place. And now we just have to put the arm we took off up here. That right there. The rear suspension arm's got to go back on. That one in, it's fine. That one in, that's fine. Bolted in place. So now we should have 2 bushings done, right? Let's check our job here. So we have the belt tensioner, that's engine, cam gear, camshaft. We still have a lot of the engine work to do. We've got 2 bushings done. So let's go find the other ones. Must be in the front, maybe. So it's down here, suspension arm. But those aren't bushings, I don't think, unless they're underneath there. No, I don't think there's any bushings there. I think we've looked at all the bushings here. That one we fixed. So let's go to the front here and see what we've got. Now, some of them I think we can get at without taking it off. So this suspension here, let's take this arm off here and see. Unscrew these. Maybe the bushing's bad in there. Sometimes You can't see the bushing because it's inside. One more about over here. Yep, there we go. Right side. All right. Nope, the bushings are okay there. But I think there's another bushing around here somewhere. Oh, there it is, right there. Is that one bad? 12%. We found it. Excellent. Good. We'll take the bolt out here. And we're going to right click, put this back in. So maybe we can just put these in, put a new one in. It's fine. Bolt it in. I think we can get those without putting this lower suspension arm. Put that there. 84. It's fine. 84. That's fine. I think maybe we didn't have to take this off because I think we can just get this bushing right there without taking the whole thing off. All right, put that up over there. Suspension back in place. Let's go check this other side now. So we want to get at the suspension right there, but we want to get up at this one right here, this bushing. That one's the one that's going to be bad, I think. 13%. Yep, found it. Good. So let's right click. So we took apart a lot of stuff we didn't really need to take apart to fix those bushings, but we didn't really know which ones it was, so that's okay. And I thought you had to take off this lower suspension arm to get at this front suspension cross member, but apparently you don't. Anyway, if we look at car status now, brake pads are done, the brakes are done, the oil filter's in place, the rubber bushings in the suspension are good. Let's go do the spark plugs and the ignition coil. So those are going to be from the bottom. What else do we have to do here? We need to do cam gear, camshaft, idle roller. I think we can do those things from the top. So let's kick it out here. Let's come around to the side and lower the car down a little bit. Let's see if we can get at this from the top part. Pop the hood off. So we're going to take a look at the engine. Intake manifold. Now we got to find the spark plugs here. It's under the exhaust manifold. No, that doesn't make sense, right? Here they are. These are the red things. So one of these ignition coils is bad. There it is, 39%. This one we don't know. This one we don't know. This one we don't know. But we know all the others are good. So that's the one that's bad. So we're going to pop that out, 39%. Now we have 2 spark plugs that are bad. So we might as well pop all of these off. Let's see if we can find the other spark plug. That spark plug we don't know. 81%. That spark plug is fine. Spark plug 31%. So this one was bad. Let's take this ignition coil off. That's going to be okay. But one of our other spark plugs is bad. 26%. There's a bad one. So this one should be okay. So we need to buy an ignition coil and a couple of spark plugs. Let's go see our inventory. Let's put an ignition coil on our list and put a spark plug on our shopping list. Now let's come in here and buy those. We're going to order, open shopping list, spark plug. Oh, this is electrical. We got to get to the electrical parts. There we go. Shopping list, spark plug. There we are. We need 2 of those. So let's buy those. That's excellent. Let's open our shopping list. We need an ignition coil right there. 60 credits. No problem. Let's buy that part. Good. And now let's put this back together again. But, 1 second. I think I'm going to take apart the ignition coil here, and the spark plug I think we can leave in because I think the camshaft is under this. If I'm not mistaken, the camshaft is the bar that runs across the top of this. I'm kind of learning all this stuff, so I don't really know it yet, but I think I did one of these before. Yeah, there it is. Camshaft 14B. Now, we have to take these camshaft caps off. So we'll get going on that. I'm just going to do these 4, then we'll resume because it's going to be for the same thing here. So 1 sec. All right, so there goes the last of the camshafts. Now we can't get it out because it's yellow because it's tied to this stuff over here, the timing cover. But the timing cover is where we're also going to have, that's yellow, why? Power steering reservoir is in the way. Is that in the way, that? No, I think there's something down here we have to take off. I want to look down here. Yeah, we got to take this stuff off first. And I think we start by taking off the idle roller. And this might be the bad one too. Let's see what it is. 82%. Well, that one's still good. But the serpentine belt, 81%. Okay. I think we got to get in there anyway. So we'll just put it back together if it's the wrong place. And now I think we take this camshaft pulley out. I think the problem parts are probably on the other side. But I think we might need to take this stuff off anyway to get at the camshaft here. But part of it is I don't really know what I'm doing, so I just take everything apart, and then sometimes you get it all done, and then I don't have all the parts back in, and they're like, dummy, you forgot to put in the spark plugs or something like that. Oh, here we go. So that's that cam gear that we need. This is probably the broken idle roll. They're all rusty. We can see how bad those are if we zoom in. And that's the belt tensioner. Let's take that off. Gotta unscrew that. Yeah, that's 19%. So this is the problem part. The idle roller. Whoops, not yet. We gotta take the belt off. Serpentine belt 1A. That's 25%. That was bad. And I'm looking on the top left where it shows the percentages here. So we can see 18% flashes up for the idle roller. Crankshaft, is that okay? So all those parts we need to replace. This here too, this cam gear I think is bad. Let's zoom out a little bit. This thing's all rusted. I'm pretty sure that's gonna have to go. I'm gonna unscrew that. 16%. Yep, now we still can't get this off because we have to open it up from the other side, I think. So let's zoom around here and move out. It's going to navigate here. I'll be right back. Pop that. This cover, this timing cover has to come off on the other side of the engine. So take these 5 bolts out. This is a big job. I think it's going to make us some money. I'm hoping we get at least 1,000 credits. All right. This okay here? Still can't take it. I have to take this guy off. Cam gear 1B. That condition, I think, is okay. Now we can finally take this camshaft off. It's turned green. We can get it out. So let's get the camshaft 1B out. Excellent. That's out. I think that's the last thing, the deepest thing we need to replace. We took off the belt tensioner. We took off the cam gear. We got the camshaft out. We got an idle roller out. We've got the ignition coil out. We got to put those back in. Serpentine belt was on the other side. We got all the things off. Yeah, so let's start buying stuff and put it back in here. So let's backtrack. We want a camshaft onto our thing. We need this cam gear, an idle roller, serpentine belt. We're putting all these things into our shopping list. And the belt tensioner. Let's go buy this stuff. Get our parts going here. Open our shopping list. We need a belt tensioner. Oh, got to get out of the electricals, right? It's in car parts. Now we open up our shopping list. Belt tensioner. There we go. We'll buy one of those. See if we can get all this stuff at once. That'll be easier. Serpentine belt. One of those. Belt A. Let's get idle roller A. We need one of those. This is a big engine job. This is our first engine job, right? Cam gear. Perfect. We will click there. Buy one of those. And camshaft 1B. Buy that part. Now we should have the 5 parts we need, and we should be able to replace them right in here. Let's go to mount mode. Put the new camshaft in. 100%. There we go. That's good. Now we can put the caps on this. These are still good, so I'll put these 4 on because this just takes a little bit of time, so I'll be right back. All right, so the camshaft is in. Now we have to come over here on this right side and put on the pieces that go on over here. So let's right-click and get that on. This was the cam gear 1B. This was okay. So we'll just stick that on, put the bolt in, and I think we can put the cover right on because that was all we took off. That side was okay. Let's get these 5 bolts on. So we've got the camshaft in. We've got the timing cover on this side right now. We have to come over here and rebuild this other side of the engine, right? So we're going to come in here, not the part, this part. Down here, we need to rebuild. So we got camshaft 1B. We'll put that on, which was the 100%. Get that bolt in. That's good. And now we should be able, right here, idle roller A. Should have another one of those. 82%. Why do we have that? We must have 2, right? Did I forget to put one in somewhere? Probably. Well, they'll let us know when we try to give the car back to the customer that we forgot something. Let's put in the serpentine bolt. Oh, I think there's one on the outside. Yeah, that's fine. Now put in the belt tensioner, which is going to be new. Get that bolt in. That's good. Now we can put the cover on. Good. Cover's on. Lots of bolts here. We're making progress. This engine job is almost done. This is a big one for us. Anything else? Yep, that long bolt right there. All right, everything in there. Good. Now this crankshaft pulley has to go on. That's fine. And we got to get the belt on. Serpentine belt 1B, 81%. That one's still good. And then this is the other idle roller. Good. The new one will go on there. Put that in. And I think that's all we had to do there. We got it all back together, right? So if we look now at our status, lots of green. We got the ignition coil and the spark plugs to do. Then we just have to put oil in. Did we drain the oil? I think we did. But all right, and ignition coil, and then change some fluids, and we are done. So we got to put the spark plugs in first, though, right? Get those back in place. So getting the engine here. That one was good. We've got the spark plug in here. I think we bought 2 new ones, right? Yep. So that'll go in. And then we'll get this other spark plug in. 1%. That one's good. Good. We'll get the 80%er in. That one's still good. Excellent. I'll put ignition coils in. We should have got 1 new one, right? Oh, we got to put the engine kit, the cover on first. Yeah. All right. Now, once we get these bolts in, then we can put the ignition coils back in. It's a big engine job. Making good progress, though. Alrighty, ignition coils should go back in. 83, we'll do that. That's good. 100, we'll do that. Put the 100 here on this other spark plug. That's not the strongest one. Whoops, is that still going to work? 78. Is that good? All greens. Nice. All these problems fixed. Everything is green. We've taken the engine apart, put the crankshaft in, the camshaft in. Let's change the oil and get these fluids going. We should be good. Did I drain the oil? I guess we'll find out if we put oil in here. Let's just see if we can. See what happens when we do this. They'll tell us, I'm sure, if we didn't. So we'll put the oil in. I think we drained it, right? Wasn't that the first thing we did? I kind of forgot. It's been here for a while on this car. All right, bubbling over. See if it gives us the old checklist here. Change oil and drain it. Yep, we did. Okay. So we've seen us do the brake fluid and the coolant and the power steering a few times now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do those because this episode's kind of getting long. And then we'll come back after we get these drained out and everything. And then we'll do our diagnostics. Then we'll turn this car in here. I think we're all set. So we have our car back together. If we do our car status, we can see that we've got the other tasks done. All the fluids have been changed and drained. We've changed and drained the oil, and we had all these things, some of which were unknown. We had to find out some of those problems with the brakes and stuff like that. Spark plugs, some belts and the timing and stuff like that. The bushings and the suspension, some brake pads all replaced, some brake discs replaced, as well as that camshaft inside the engine. It's been a busy day. Let's see if we've got everything back together by finishing this order. Car is incomplete. There's a rim class. Oh, we didn't put the tires on. Be right back. Alrighty, here we go. Small detail there. We forgot the tires. So now let's come out here, see if car status, everything looks good. We finished the order up here. Excellent. About 1,000 credits. We've gone up over 6, actually more than 1,000 credits for that job. So that was good. And we hit level 4, 25 experience out of 525 we need for our next level. We can also go in here and we're going to sell. We got a case here because we leveled up. We'll open that up here. Let us go sell the parts that are below 30%. Sounds good. We might be able to use these ignition coil. The spark plug, I'm going to sell that part. No one's going to buy it. The ignition coil, we might be able to. Nah, let's just get rid of it. All right, so we can keep that oil filter to use in someone else's car. And we're now at 6,158. Let's open up our case. Yes. What did we get? 5 cards. Pick a card. Bonus barn location map. Okay. How about this one? 36 spare parts. Our scrap parts. I think this is, we can use these to build our own parts or something like that. I don't quite understand it. Let's add the barn location to our map. We'll leave that. We have an oil filter and a fuel filter in stock. Let's go see if we can level up here with something. With our skills. This, I think, takes 2. And that's what we're going to wait for. We're going to wait for this one. Because I do want to start making progress in this renovator one, which apparently is the most important. So we'll get level 5. We'll take our second point here and then level up that one. So with that, we have finished this episode. Big job. Lots of things to do in that car and some unknown problems that we had to diagnose. So that was kind of fun. I'm looking forward to our next episode. We have a story here. This Volson. Please, hello, young man. I set off on a ride. My car stopped working. It shut down suddenly. Okay, other problems. So I'm not sure. Maybe we'll do that story mode or maybe a couple of other little ones as we go forward. I might do a couple of regular jobs first to see if I can get us closer to level 5. And then we'll come back for the next episode. So I might move forward a little bit like that. But in any case, I hope you've enjoyed it. It was a big job today. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new, please consider subscribing. We'll be back in a few days with episode 4 as we continue to drive our way forward with car repair and our car mechanic business here. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Have a great day. Take care, everybody. Bye.